Hello and welcome, rather earlier than usual, for the review of the third test and also later the preview of the fourth test. Now, you must be wondering why I'm wearing a colored India jersey, because to me it felt like we played two one-day internationals consecutively. This is our channel for the love of cricket, and we're very happy to be airing this once more. And thanks once again for your lovely comments and feedback. Well, crazy, to say the least.
Well, at the outset, appreciate for all this beautiful interaction we are having. It's been a great journey up to now, and I hope it continues. Yes, coming to this match, my first thoughts would be going to one of the greatest statistician of all times, the late great Anandji Dosa. He must be looking at his books to see if this was the fastest concluded test match, 2 days and some time to spare.
Yeah, inside 5 sessions. Yeah.
Congratulations to India and hard luck to the Englishmen once again. When you talk about the game, considering the pitch, both played on the similar surface, so India came out better. So that's why I congratulate them.
Yeah, fair enough.
And as I keep harping on this, that there's so much passion being created about this 2-day match. So many of the great past and the present test cricketers from either side have been caught up into this. Some sound partisan, some are honest and straightforward. But as I said, when you travel away from home, you expect this thing. And that is sad. I'm not happy at this victory in 2 days. But this is what happens when India travels outside on a seaming wicket.
Yeah.
I still remember Indians saying that we don't talk about it, but we do talk about it. The journalists and the cricketers, the 74 wicket, where Gavaskar played a wonderful innings. The pitch was as green as the outfield. Or when India were number 1, when Dhoni took the team out, they were really pitches conducive to their attack. Now this is where I say, unless and until the ICC steps in, and you have it in the regulations probably, but unless they implement it, these things will keep on continuing. So we need a strong implementation by the ICC. The neutral umpires came. It's not a perfect situation, Neeraj, but it's better. The DRS probably takes the howlers away from the system, so that's better. International match referees. So I'm surprised now also a thought on, in this bubble, with the boards or the ICC being rich enough not having neutral umpires or referees. So for me, all this heartburn could be avoided of people pointing fingers at the referee, international referee, not taking a proper stand on Kohli. Maybe if there was an international referee, he would have found Kohli not guilty. Maybe not. Maybe. So this is where, the ICC should be strong enough. Yeah. And as I said, unless you have an international curator who coordinates with a local guy, you have a certain level of wicket. Yes, let it help the home side. The soil will be different, the crowds will be different, but only that much. You cannot have that much grass if they want, or you cannot have a pitch which breaks down on the first day or the second day when the bowler, when he runs in, There's layers and layers of soil just coming out. For me, and according, if they go strictly, some even the intelligent cricketers say who makes the rules and this and that. No, the whole society is run by the rules. The whole system is run by the rules. So there are some clearly defined set up rules in every situation, and so in cricket. Yes, Indians performed better because they were better skilled at it, and the pitch was not according to the test standard. The second and third. And I don't know if this would have been a loss for India. The so-called experts would be saying, oh, India dug the hole and they fell into it. It would all be reversed. So this pitch, I think, was not as it should have been, but Indians played better. And I will let you continue on this, Neeraj.
Well, all I can say is that it was compelling viewing. Every ball seemed to be an event. But like you said, I mean, you'd want some sort of a balance between bat and ball, and I felt like this pitch favored ball a bit too much. And we've had pitches where we've complained about it favoring batsmen too much, and it's boring. I mean, I find that really boring when a batting side makes 400, the other team makes 500, and it ends up in a draw. So I think this is on the extreme spectrum again, where the pitches are too conducive for the bowling team. Yes, it does. It does get you more excited because we've had rare occasions where the bowling team, kind of runs through the game and runs through a batting side in the recent past. So it was exciting to watch for those 2 days. But again, you want to see more of a contest where, guys like Kohli, Root, even the other players of spin, I mean, good players of spin, at least, there is this is like, you pack your team with entire batting side and just take 2 spinners and you can have a match in this game. So you want to see pacers also in the action. You want to see good viewing as a balance, and it was, India did play better. I agree, because I mean, reading all the statistics where the English, 21 wickets fell to the straighter ball. Now, there are ways to look at this. I mean, yes, you can argue that the skill on display for both sides of batting wasn't really at their best. The bowlers had been way better. Aksar and Ashwin in particular had been really good. I think England would be a bit annoyed at themselves also with, first of all, their selection. I find it baffling, this entire rotation and not looking at the World Cup in sight. And then even knowing that the pitch, is generally going to be spinning, and you don't take Bess again, you just go with Leach. So I find that England also dug themselves, a hole getting into this third test. It didn't help. And even when it did help them by getting India all out for 145, I mean, they should have driven an advantage to, at least make sure that they could get a decent enough lead to bat a bit more better, to understand what went wrong in the previous few innings that they have played in these conditions. It didn't seem like England was good enough. So yes, I mean, all in all, India deserved this victory, but it just dilutes the feeling of winning a good test match, especially after we saw how India had to fight or what India did achieve in Australia, where the pitches I felt were good for both batting and bowling.
Taking some of your points, yes, England really had a bad selection policy.
Yeah.
England did not take its chance when they bowled out India for 145.
Yeah.
This pitch was not to play the right cricket. They should have taken an aggressive approach. They should have sent in pinch hitters, and they should have looked at 250 being a great winning score. And even if they have landed at 200, they would have made a fist of it. So we definitely think India did a good job by winning, but we are talking as we are talking on the pitch, and this is where I say that again and again, let the power be in the hands where it is supposed to be.
Yeah,
If the selection is in the hand of the selectors, and giving an example in the past, the chairman of the selectors did not want a particular captain to be captaining the test because he was a disaster. But the chairman of the BCCI comes down and changes the decision. The curators are supposed to have some sort of an authority. But if somebody else, why was the BCCI curator asked to go away after the first match?
first test.
The
Yeah.
pitch was good, it lasted good 5 days. What was wrong with it? Because we lost. So, let the authority lie, and people should not interfere in those places. Otherwise, the
Yeah.
game will not be the way it should be. And talking of, as you said, another point, even if it's a batting paradise, that's a bad pitch.
Yeah, it's a bad pitch.
Because the whole thing is they should look at it as a contest between bat and ball. I've been always championing the cause for the bowlers. Even in a T20, you have your hands tied back in so many ways. Down the leg side, field placing, boundary ropes.
Yeah.
You can pack in all 11 batsmen then.
Yeah.
Where is the game between the ball
Yeah,
and the
skill
bat?
should be, for
Yeah.
both, available
So-
for both. Yeah.
So, this pitch, some may argue, in the past, some of the foreign players have done a great job, put 500 on the board, 600 on a board in the series, in their aggregate. But the rules were different. The DRS was not there that time. They were playing with the pad. So now, you see, with the lacquer also made a difference, I think.
That's what I wanted to come to. The pink ball, I'm pretty sure, because if you look at the statistics with the pink ball tests, there's definitely something different about the pink ball than compared to the red ball. The lacquer, like you said, it's causing a problem, maybe even sighting getting used to it. We're so used to the red ball cricket or white ball cricket. And the lacquer, when it does pitch on this lacquer, it tends to skid. And when it's happening, when the pink ball is being played on a wicket that is spinning, like left to right, I mean, obviously as a batsman, you're going to wonder, okay, is this ball going to turn? Is this going to skid on? Is it so? Definitely, psychologically, it's going to affect the batting side.
The ball also made a difference,
Yeah.
but the technique of, very few players watch the hand.
Yeah.
Even though here it may not have helped because the ball was turning sometimes keeping a bit low,
Yes.
sometimes going straight with the arm, in spite of the bowler not wanting it to.
Yes,
That
so
way. So
exactly,
you
exactly.
couldn't blame them. So there were many things in this which.
Look, I think it's a debate where you can say that yes, compared to the first test, which we were talking about, in the second and third test, the pitch seemed to be the same for both sides. It did not seem like winning the toss really made a huge difference. So in a way, it was easier to compare the skills of the teams when it came to the batting, especially that we're talking about. So yeah, I mean, if you look at that, then you do realize that okay, India are probably better than England in terms of this, in terms of playing.
Nobody
the
doubts
spinners.
that. As I said, finally these things will never stop
Yeah.
till you have a certain strict implementation of the rules on the wickets. Nobody wants a drop-in wicket. I'm not, asking for
Yeah.
that, but there has to be a certain level of, a pitch standard. Coming to the selection, the very fact that they chose Washington Sundar was a shocker. So they knew that they won't require the seamer because the wicket is going to turn square.
Yeah.
They knew that they will not require the third real spinner, Kuldeep,
yeah.
because these two will be good enough. So they needed a batting strength.
Yeah.
And what is this negative thinking? To have the guy, Washington Sundar or Akzar batting number 9. So, see, this is how you feel. They knew the wicket is going to turn square.
Oh yeah.
And they will
pretty
need
obvious,
probably
yeah.
a
An extra
batsman
batsman just to, yeah.
and a left-hander. So,
Which,
well,
yeah.
now we have said enough, I think.
Yeah.
So let's go to the
Yeah,
last test.
It was a spicy wicket, to say the least. Yes, I mean, if you're going to preview the next Test match, this confirms that England are knocked out of the
Yes.
World Test Championship. I mean, that's it for them. Sadly, I feel a bit annoyed that England didn't, take the chances that they should have taken, in my opinion, to show that interest that they want to be, playing back home for the finals. Anyways, that's done and dusted. They got in Johnny Bairstow out of the last he played in Sri Lanka, and he couldn't score a run.
Well, they sent him back.
Yeah. I mean,
Then
there was a lot happening. We've discussed this.
Yeah.
The rotation didn't really help, in my opinion, and England can still spoil the party for India by winning the next test, which will then mean that Australia and New Zealand will be confirmed finalists for the World Test Championship. So England still, they shouldn't feel like I mean, the last test is a rubber, but India do have to win or confirm at least a draw. What I know about the squad is that Bumrah is rested, or
No,
released
he is
released for
released, yeah.
personal reasons. England, to be frank, I really don't know what's going on, but
which shows that he's not needed. He was hardly needed now. So,
yeah, I don't think he's needed.
well, the English know what sort of wicket again they are expecting, and which is not a
Yeah.
surprise.
It's I don't see much of a difference, except that maybe we go back to the red ball cricket. It's back to a day
Yes.
test. So it's interesting to see what the red ball does, and maybe
Well,
have a
batting
comparison.
could be slightly better because the lacquer, the pronounced
Yeah.
seam, as we discussed.
Yeah.
Well,
We
the
look
English
forward to
have
it.
brought in Wins, who's having a good run in the county.
Right. Okay.
So sometimes, I don't like a player coming in straight, and especially in this bubble situation.
Right.
But with the baggage most of these Englishmen are carrying, I would rather play him.
Okay.
And they have to set their mind straight. Stokes should be Stokes the way he is.
Yeah.
He doesn't
didn't
give
seem
that body
himself.
language.
Yeah,
They
he
should attack, they should come down, put the doubt in the bowlers. This is not the way they are going anywhere. And it is
Surely.
really sad captaincy, on Root's part also. I mean,
Right.
you mentioned Best, but it is very clear Root feels he's got more control. And another indicator about the wicket. 5 for 8
Yeah,
to a
that's-
part-timer now. So, I don't know why Bess, he bowled decently, but in the second innings, I think he showed a lack of control. So,
But
You know-
I disagree. I mean, with the
no,
non-selection. Yeah.
yeah, I understand. I mean, but this is way they have shown the Root taking 5. I don't think he will come back again. They will try to strengthen their batting or something.
Yeah.
Broad doesn't look to me also in his element. So I feel they will have to go to Jofra, Archer, Stone bowled well, and again there like he's the Kuldeep Yadav of the Englishman. Vokes.
Yeah,
It's sad.
It's really crazy
It's
that
sad.
he hasn't got a game since the last I don't know how many Test matches, but
Yes.
he's a genuine all-rounder, and we were thinking about him making probably making a comeback in the third Test.
Well, for the next match, India has to be cautious
Yeah,
because England have nothing to lose now. With the pressure of the world,
Test Championship.
qualifying for that is gone. They have lost this match within 2 days, so they should be motivated as India were after being bowled out for 36.
Yeah,
So maybe their coach also tells them something like that, wear this as a badge, so you can see them coming out fighting, and they have a motivation to square the
series. Yeah,
series. So India has to be cautious because if they lose this, they have a lot to lose.
oh yeah. I mean, first of all,
Because draw probably on these wickets is out of the question. The way these wickets
Yes,
seem to
I
be.
mean, it
way.
seems to be giving you results.
So
yeah.
what I'm trying to say is it's a win or lose.
Yeah.
So England will come out,
Strong.
definitely trying to be strong because they have a lot to answer for. It's a matter of pride for them too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So India cannot just get into this passion game about the pitch and things like that. They have to let this go.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that they were better on that pitch. The point is now we have to keep our focus on the third game in every aspect, as I said again. Selection, the strategy. India has all to gain.
Yeah, absolutely. One question for you. Any changes that you would make to the side going into the fourth test for India?
Well, Bumrah is not playing, so they will have to look in. Umesh has been brought into the attack. Shami is there. One has to be, fit. Form they both don't have. Umesh and Shami. So who's more fit?
Absolutely.
Considering Siraj is already playing, they will not go more than 2 seamers.
Oh no, they shouldn't.
So I would not be averse to taking Siraj also.
Right, yeah.
I would not take Washington. That is a negative step for me.
Yeah, okay.
But Kuldeep doesn't find favor.
Yeah, that's okay.
But
I'm asking
still,
you,
I would not take Washington.
Okay.
That is negative for me. Batting till 8 or 9 because Washington will dilute Ashwin's bowling.
Yeah,
This pitch was not needed.
He was not even needed, yeah.
But I don't think that's a good selection.
Yeah, I agree with you. And if I was England, I would definitely take Bess, or if they're not, confident from Bess, then I would take another spinner in the team, and I would pack their batting a bit. They have the people to do it. They have Vokes. I think you need Vokes. Give him a game. I mean, he's capable, very much capable, and it looks tough for Broad or Anderson to really, muster something up in these conditions if it's going to be the same. So I'd rather have a spinner. Yeah. So I think, good luck to the sides. I think it should be still good viewing. There's a lot to play for both teams. There's pride for England. There's a championship final to look at for India, and I think that's part of that Stumps on our show. But
Yes.
before we go, like we decided, let's have some humor.
Some humor. Well, we are talking of neutral umpires and the DRS and things like that. So I remember, a time when people used to travel to New Zealand. It was never easy to win in New Zealand.
Yeah.
The team which won for 11 years, West Indies, Test cricket, they were on top for 11 years. When they went to New Zealand, they couldn't win. They drew, I think, the series. And a lot of things were said about their umpiring because to get a decision from those New Zealand umpires was not easy.
Okay.
I remember a match where Chandrasekhar was bowling and the spinners, the famous Indian spinners were wrapping these New Zealanders on the pads and they thought they are plumb, but they never got a decision out of them. Okay. So finally Chandrasekhar got one through and he bowled the New Zealand batsman.
Okay.
And he looked at the umpire and appealed. So the umpire said, "What's wrong? He's bowled." So Chandra said, "But is he out?" So cheers and happy viewing. England winning the first match has made this series interesting. Yeah. So we are still there in it, watching with interest. God bless.
See you next time.
Take care.
Like, subscribe and share. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.